million Americans that are in medical debt. I grew up in the South Bronx. I grew up in a very deprived, poor area when I was down. My people fought for me and championed me to get to the level where I'm at. So I have an obligation to speak for the voiceless so that therefore we can have competition in the hospitals and they can bring the prices down for your average American.
Fat Joe even bringing along other hip-hop favorites, Busta Rhymes, Rick Ross, and French Montana to help raise awareness.
Not only is he leading the charge of something incredible and great and powerful, but it's principally correct.
You should know right there, as soon as you walk into the hospital, you're going to have to sell your home to stay alive.
We don't want to go and get blindsided no more, so we're here to support the cause.
According to the Kaiser Family Foundation, 1 in 10 American adults owes medical debt. And the National Institutes of Health says exorbitant medical bills accounted for about 40% of personal bankruptcies in 2019. But even as healthcare costs continue to rise, advocates say hospitals have been reluctant to comply with the Trump-era federal rule requiring hospitals to list the cost of standard procedures. Members of the Congressional Hispanic Caucus standing with Fat Joe at the Capitol, calling for change.
Families deserve to have peace of mind knowing how much their health procedure will cost them ahead of time.
The federal agency tasked with enforcing the rule has imposed fines on 4 hospitals since former President Trump signed the Healthcare Pricing Transparency Executive Order in June 2019. As of last month, CMS has also issued 730 warnings to hospitals not in compliance. But Power to the Patient's research arm says its detailed analysis found that more than 70% of U.S. hospitals reviewed are still not in full compliance. The American Hospital Association telling Congress the pandemic impacted rollout.
Despite its complexity and lack of clarity,
the police reported ahead.
hospitals are eager to continue their compliance efforts.
Fat Joe's lobbying efforts on Capitol Hill coinciding with the landmark hearing in the House Energy and Commerce Subcommittee on Health.
We're considering bipartisan legislation to codify existing price transparency rules for hospitals and insurers.
A bipartisan push to strengthen enforcement. Fat Joe tells me the bill is one of many positive signs that this 2-day trip to the Hill may actually help bring about change.
Last year I came, it was just one gentleman who came to meet us. Today there's about 25, 30 different congressmen and senators. And so I feel a momentum.
And that's our show. Our thanks to Faith Abube. I'm Mona Kosar Amdi. Stay tuned for ABC News Live for more context and analysis of the day's top stories. Thanks for streaming with us.
At T-Mobile, new and existing customers can get our best deals like the amazing iPhone 14 on us.
I love being with T-Mobile. They upgraded me to a new iPhone 14 with this advanced camera. Wow,
that's a great photo. I can really see that you wore my shirt I said you couldn't borrow.
Oops.
The iPhone 14 on us with eligible trade-in on our new Go 5G Plus plan. Only at T-Mobile. 24 monthly benefits tax for qualified customers. Contact us before canceling. Maintain credit or credit stop and balance and required finance agreement. Details at T-Mobile.com.
Venture X card from Capital One gives you premium travel benefits, perfect for seeing Taylor Swift The Eras Tour, presented by Capital One. Oh, I do love her. Earn 5 times miles on flights and 10 times miles on hotels through Capital One Travel.
Enjoy your stay in Suite 13.
Well, 13? That's Taylor's lucky number. The Venture X card from Capital One. What's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com for details.
92% of households that joined Peloton early in the year are still active a year later.
Yeah, if you like cycling to EDM.
Not just EDM. Try cycling to Broadway hits, take a scenic hike in Iceland on our treadmill, or row to some nature jams.
Because I have so much free time.
Whether you have 30 minutes or just 5, Peloton can fit any schedule. 92% stick with it. So can you. Try Peloton Tread, Pro, or Bikes risk-free with a 30-day home trial. Members only. Not available in remote locations. See additional terms at onepeloton.com/home-try.
A good time starts with a great wardrobe. Next stop, JCPenney. Family get-togethers to fancy occasions, wedding season 2. We do it all in style. Dresses, suiting, and plenty of
color to play with. Get fixed up with brands like Liz Claiborne, Worthington, Stafford, and J. Farrar. Oh, and thereabouts for kids. Super cute and extra affordable. Check out the latest in-store, and we're never short on options at jcp.com. All dressed up, everywhere to go. JCPenney.
There's nothing like the sound of the ballpark. And this season, you can listen live right on TuneIn Premium. That's right, every single game of the MLB season is now available. From now to the World Series. Upgrade to TuneIn Premium today to follow your favorite team all season long. Just search Premium to play ball.
ABC News, America's #1 source for news. Now streaming here 24/7. At the top and bottom of the hour, you'll get live updates from ABC News Radio. Then breaking news, in-depth reporting, and more from ABC News Live. Straightforward journalism, powerful storytelling, always up to date. Now, the latest headlines, live from ABC News headquarters in New York.
From ABC News, I'm Richard Cantu. The man accused of fatally shooting 5 of his neighbors in Cleveland, Texas, is now in custody.
After 4 nights on the run, Francisco Oropeza, now caught, found hiding under laundry in the closet of a home in the town of Cotton Chute, Texas. Oropeza facing 5 counts of murder. Sheriff Capers with a message to the families of the victims.
They can rest easy now because he is behind bars and he will live out his life behind bars.
It was a tip into the FBI tip line that led federal agents and police to the home where they found Oropeza. Alex Stone, ABC News.
Pentagon ordering another 1,500 regular Army troops to the southern border. They'll join 2,500 already there to support Border Patrol agents ahead of next week's expiration of Title 42 and an anticipated surge of migrants.
These troops arrive as early as May 10th, and then in the coming weeks.
Air Force Brigadier General Patrick Ryder is Pentagon spokesman.
For 90 days, these 1,500 military personnel who will be sourced from the active duty component will fill critical capability gaps, such as ground-based detection and monitoring.
The active duty troops will not be performing law enforcement duties. The judge in Salt Lake City temporarily blocked Utah's law requiring abortions to be performed only in hospitals. The judge ruling Planned Parenthood is likely to win its lawsuit against the requirement. Just days before British King Charles's coronation, a scare in London at Buckingham Palace.
Police say the man approached the gates here and threw what are believed to be shotgun shells onto the palace grounds. The man was arrested on suspicion of possession of an offensive weapon, and authorities also detonated a bag in his possession as a precaution. Now, the palace confirms neither King Charles nor Queen Camilla were at the palace at the time.
ABC's Lama Hassan in London. You're listening to ABC News.
No fees or minimums and no overdraft fees. Banking with Capital One is the easiest decision in the history of decisions. Even easier than choosing Slash to be your band.
Next up for lead guitar. You're in.
Cool. Yep, even easier than that. With no fees or minimums and no overdraft fees, is it even a decision? That's banking reimagined. What's in your wallet? Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com/bank for details. Capital One and A member FDIC.
92% of households that joined Peloton early in the year are still active a year later.
Yeah, maybe like cycling to EDM.
Not just EDM. Try cycling to Broadway hits, take a scenic hike in Iceland on our treadmill, or roll to some 80s jams.
Because I have so much free time.
Whether you have 30 minutes or just 5, Peloton can fit any schedule. 92% stick with it. So can you. Try Peloton tread, row, or bikes risk-free with a 30-day home trial. New members only. Not available in remote locations. See additional terms at onepeloton.com/home-trial.
The Senate Judiciary Committee held a hearing on the scandals swirling around some members of the Supreme Court. Unlike the executive and legislative branches, there is no written code of ethics for the justices. Kedrick Payne of the Ethics Campaign Legal Center telling lawmakers
there are 4 basic ethics provisions that exist in the executive and legislative branches that do not exist in the Supreme Court. As a result, the Supreme Court has the lowest ethical standards in government.
Thomas Dupree of the Appellate and Constitutional Law Practice Group is opposed.
These proposals for an ethics investigations counsel or a designated ethics officer would damage and debase the institution by encouraging frivolous and politically motivated attacks on the court's integrity.
Sales of Bud Light continue to fall because of its collaboration with a trans influencer.
Bud Light still with a bit of a hangover after the controversy over using transgender actress Dylan Mulvaney in a product placement ad touting the beer. Sales of the traditionally macho brand falling 26% from a year ago, or about $1 billion, after avid drinkers, including many celebrities, took issue with the gender-bending marketing effort. Others were offended by Bud Light marketing executive Alyssa Heinerschein's description of Bud Light's overall appeal.
Bratty, kind of out of touch humor.
She and at least one other Bud Light executive going on leave. Derek Dennis, ABC News. This is ABC News.
Those were the latest headlines, live from our radio newsroom. Now let's go back to the ABC News Live.
President Biden authorized deployment as officials prepare for what is expected to be a massive news surge of migrants when COVID restrictions expire. ABC's Maria Villarreal has more.
Border Patrol agents are bracing for the number to soar as more migrants try to cross into the U.S. when Trump-era COVID restrictions, known as Title 42, end next week. Those restrictions allow the U.S. to send migrants back because of COVID concerns. Chief Raul Martí is telling us with Title 42 expiring, he needs more help on the front lines.
I don't have enough agents, I don't have enough infrastructure, I don't have enough technology. I have other areas where I think our agents have really locked down the border security situation.
President Biden announcing he will send 1,500 active duty troops to the border for the next 90 days. The White House making it clear they will not have a law enforcement role.
These personnel will be performing administrative tasks like data entry and warehouse support. They will not be performing law enforcement functions or interacting with immigrants or migrants.
As our team has witnessed, border towns are already strained. El Paso declaring a state of emergency. 1,350 migrants are arriving every day, and that's before Title 42 expires. The U.S. will no longer turn back migrants, citing COVID concerns. This young woman who came to the U.S. saying there are many more coming, trying to escape violence and economic collapse back home.
Border Patrol Chief Raul Ortiz tells me he needs the most help with processing right now. Agents that we've spoken to recently say these troops will absolutely help, and they welcome the help. Maria Villarreal, ABC News, Fort Worth, Texas. Maria, thank you for that. Congressional Republicans and President Biden remain locked in a stalemate as the country inches closer to defaulting on its debt for the first time. Neither side appears to be willing to budge ahead of next week's White House meeting. Now, one option is a temporary fix that's been proposed by the Bipartisan Problem Solvers Caucus that could suspend the debt limit through the end of the year. Democrats are also working on a long-shot plan to force a vote to raise the limit, but they would need the support of 5 Republicans.
Happening today, the Fed is widely expected to hike interest rates again as it maintains its fight against inflation. Analysts say a quarter-point increase is likely. It will be the Fed's 10th straight rate hike since March of last year. Investors will be listening closely. The Fed Chair Jay Powell's comments trying to determine if increases will continue or be paused.
Okay, Uber is out with a new list. It is revealing the strangest things people have ever left behind in cars.
Okay, and this just comes from 2022. Among the items, a Danny DeVito Christmas ornament. How could you forget that? 16 ounces of fake blood, hamsters, plural.
Hamsters?
Multiple. Yep.
Alive?
I hope so.
I hope. Okay, Andrew, I over here. I forgot my lightsaber, and I forgot yours as well. I'm sorry about that. I know. No, these are actually really funny. The most forgetful cities. I thought New York would be on here, but it's Jacksonville, Florida, San Antonio, Palm Springs, Houston, and Salt Lake City. Those are the top 5 most forgetful cities.
Florida.
Always Florida.
You asked a question earlier, but surprised New York's not on the list. It can't be on the list because we're always forgetting our cell phones on subways. So by the time we get to the Uber, no.
Have you done that or left it in a
Not on a subway, but on an Uber, too many times.
My kids
Too many
left.
times. And I'm not from Jacksonville, Florida.
Really? Well, okay, you are. My kids left both of their Yeti drink like cups, which are very expensive in an Uber, just a couple of weeks.
can't we ask?
Later in Skinny going inside the Met Gala to Lizzo's performance. Just see it. You're watching Rumbles now.
Now at T-Mobile, new and existing customers can get our best deals like the amazing iPhone 14 on us.
I love being with T-Mobile. They upgraded me to a new iPhone 14 with this advanced camera.
Wow, great photo. I can really see that you wore my shirt I said you couldn't borrow. Oops.
The iPhone 14 on us with eligible trade-in on our new Go 5G Plus plan. Only at T-Mobile. Tax for qualified customers. Contact us before canceling. Related staff and balance of required financial agreement. Details at T-Mobile.com.
At Fogarty Show, you don't need a reason to celebrate, but here are some ideas. It's the anniversary of your cousin's third date. Slice it into a tender double-cut pork chop. You mowed the lawn today. A rich bone-in ribeye aged 21 days just for this moment. And why not have Fogo host your housewarming party? Decadent lamb picanha, marinated in white wine. And they're all included at one price. That alone is a reason to celebrate. Make a reservation at Fogo.com.
Smells just right, just right, just right, just right. I gotta try that police car. Just right, just right, just right. La 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 la. That's 40 days of consistency. Oh no, police car clips right on your face. You know my car's my happy place. Keep a smile on my face when it smells just right, just right, just right. And breathe happy Febreze. La 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 la.
The Granite Expo has everything you need to remodel your home or business.
Right now, get up to 40% off select cabinets while supplies last.
The Granite Expo.
For more info, go to thegraniteexpo.com.
No fees or minimums and no overdraft fees. Banking with Capital One is the easiest decision in the history of decisions. Even easier than choosing Slash to be in your band.
Next up for lead guitar. You're in.
Cool. Yep, even easier than that. With no fees or minimums and no overdraft fees, is it even a decision? That's banking reimagined. What's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com/bank for details. Capital One and A member FDIC.
ABC News Live, Saturday morning. You're invited to a front row seat to history, the coronation of King Charles. ABC News Live, right there and all across the day for you. Coverage starts at 5 a.m. Eastern Saturday, streaming on ABC News Live.
We're back now with new details about that tragic death of an American climber on Mount Everest. The 69-year-old was said to not be feeling well at around 21,000 feet elevation when he passed away on Monday. Guides said inclement weather hampered efforts to recover the body. It has been a deadly start to Everest's spring climbing season. At least 4 people have already died.
First Hollywood strike in 15 years immediately forced the late-night shows to go dark. Programs aired reruns after more than 11,000 TV and film writers walked off the job. Saturday Night Live will also shut down. Writers Guild of America is demanding higher minimum pay from studios and production companies and a better way of calculating residuals in the era of streaming.
The industry has changed in huge ways in the last 5 or 10 years that have made it increasingly difficult for screenwriting to be a stable middle-class career.
The striking writers say they are willing to hold out as long as necessary.
And this is really scary. Authorities are sounding the alarm about a new artificial intelligence scam. So a viral TikTok video detailed the so-called grandparent scam, in which grandparents seem to get a call from a relative in crisis and in need of immediate financial help. But here's the twist. It's only possible by AI voice cloning technology, which can imitate a person's voice after a short sample of it obtained through a source like YouTube or Instagram. Experts say if you think you're being scammed, hang up.
Another way they're potentially getting that too is if you just get called by a scammer and you just pick up, to tell them to put you on the do not call list or things like